Alright everyone, supporters are enraged at the moment. The WNBA just made a crazy move by allocating the same referee crew from that disastrous Lynx-Mercury game. That one, indeed. To the Las Vegas Aces vs Indiana Fever semifinals. Yes, exactly. The referees who suspended Cheryl Reeves are now unexpectedly in control of Caitlin Clark's most difficult playoff test to date. To be honest, folks are labeling this plain corruption. What do you think, then? Did the league intentionally select these referees in an effort to sway the outcome of the match? It is malpractice on the part of the officiating staff that we had today for the leadership to think those three individuals were deserving of a postseason berth. With the best of them, I can accept a failing grade. We shouldn't have to go through more than they did, in my opinion. All of the guys that were cracked acknowledged it wasn't their call, and there was no call. I'm not sure. I didn't have that, and I didn't think it was that bad. Now that the WNBA has completely lost the plot, let's properly examine this complete mess. Assigning the same team who really messed up that Minnesota game, Isaac Barnett, Randy Richardson, and Jana, to the Fever vs Aces semifinal. It's not simply crazy. Not everyone is tone deaf. To all the fans who have already been criticizing the league for their blatant ineptitude, it is a massive slap in the face.
It's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those three people semifinals playoff worthy is malpractice. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. We got players. I think it's crap. And there's no call. And all of them said it wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't have that. I didn't see it that awful.
Alright, so let's go back in time and discuss what truly transpired during that Lynx-Mercury game, because Cheryl Reeve didn't just blow out for no apparent reason, did she? She witnessed firsthand how severely Alyssa Thomas beat Nafessa Collier. I mean, utterly inconsistent calls, no protection, and no whistles. Collier appeared in agony as he hobbled off the court. And those referees pretended that everything was okay. Here's the worst part, though. Reeve was suspended, fined, and boomed when he dared to seek accountability. Her assistant was also fined. The coaching staff as a whole was disciplined for pointing out the blatantly evident reality. The officiating was complete shit. Cheryl Reeve is now able to go into further detail about this on SportsCenter.
Let's jump right in. I want to start with the play that set off all of the chaos. Everything else that we will talk about, there is one play that set off all of it, and it is this steal that Alyssa Thomas made on Nafessa Collier. So this was at the end of the game. Fee is dribbling down, and Alyssa Thomas goes across her body, steals the ball, and then takes the ball full court for a layup on the other end, and that pretty much sealed the deal for the Phoenix Mercury. They won last night's game, but I want to show you guys the close-up. This was not ruled a foul, and I am dumbfounded by the amount of people online, even the amount of professionals online who are saying that this is no foul. And the reason that they're saying that it is no foul is, as you can see here, Alyssa Thomas reaches across, and when she reaches across, you can pause the video here, she gets all ball first. Okay, so no, was there any foul when she was tapping the ball away? No, it seems like there's no contact there. She strips the ball clean. But as you can see, the angle in which Alyssa Thomas is running across Fee, Fee's going this way, Alyssa Thomas is going this way. Fee is in full motion. You can even see, again, with this screenshot, the angle in which Fee's body is going. She is going full speed in one direction. She is running in one direction, and Alyssa Thomas cuts her off in that.
Let's fast forward to the present day. Despite Caitlin Clark missing extended periods of play this season due to injuries, the Fever managed to make it into the playoffs. The Thar line was born. Every Fever game resulted in ridiculous ratings, really. All of the arenas were full. All of a sudden, Mitchell, Boston, and Clark essentially brought the WNBA back to prominence. How does the league choose to recognize and reward all of that amazing momentum, then? By assigning them the same referees who completely disgraced the sport as a whole. Supporters are not stupid. The pattern is visible to them. These particular referees have already established a reputation for being erratic, petulant, and downright careless. They are currently presiding over Clark's largest stage. You guys, that's not just dubious. It's blatantly careless.
Who was it that asked about officiating before the game? Was that you, Kendra? And we talked about how dangerous it can be. You're hearing it from the other series. You're hearing other coaches. You're hearing Becky talk about when you let the physicality happen, people get hurt. There's fights. And this is the look that our league wants.
Collier hobbled away. The referees simply walked away unharmed when Cheryl Ree burst. Get this now. Clark, Boston, and Mitchell are expected to be managed by the same referees when they play Aja Wilson, Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray. This is blatant malpractice, please. We all witnessed Lexi Hall being elbowed and shoved throughout the game. Even fans have receipts. It was blatantly reported by Scott Agnes. The same team, consisting of Jana, Randy Richardson, and Isaac Barnett, will run the Fever Aces semifinal. No responsibility, no modifications. In essence, the league just stated, yeah, we know you hated them, but we don't care. And for that Prek alright. It's crazy, so let's focus on the league-level misconduct here. Let's examine the Lynx Mercury games numbers. Minnesota lost despite having a 10-rebound edge and going 13 for 21 from the free throw line. Why? Because every time Phoenix got violent, the referees just ignored their concerns. Alyssa Thomas could have received a dozen foul calls, but she didn't. I see reason. This is being referred to as corruption. This is precisely how you would tilt the game in favor of Vegas, if that were your goal. Provide them with references who have already demonstrated that they will overlook issues. Referees who ignore their warnings when the game becomes rough, and those who discipline coaches for raising their voices. And who exactly benefits when the Aces thrive on physicality? Fans have been griping about the refereeing throughout the season, so let's not act like this is brand new. Particularly in regard to Caitlin Clark. The opposition players have body-checked her like it's hockey, hacking, elbowing, and tripping her with hardly a whistle. These referees choose to ignore the league's most valued star rather than defend him. And it's become so clear that even casual viewers are wondering if the league really wants Clark to succeed when someone does call it out, resulting in bans and fines. You guys, that's how horrible it is. Referees who don't appear to care about justice are intentionally undermining the enormous Clark effect rather than leveraging it. To be honest, this sarcasm speaks for itself. According to the WNBA, they wish to expand the sport. In their ads, they implore viewers to embrace the new generation. They then appoint the most despised referee crew to the main event in the most watched playoff run in years. That isn't progress. It's self-defeating. Take a look at the stakes. The Aces vs. Fever series might have been the year's best. The reigning MVP and face of the Aces dynasty, A.A. Wilson, will meet second-year sensation Caitlin Clark. Wilson and Boston in the paint. Young against Mitchell. This has every element of a classic. However, everyone is talking about the referees rather than the match. Fans aren't discussing rotations, matchups, or strategy. Whether Clark will even make it through the officiating is up for debate. That is simply pitiful. And the league is solely responsible. Let's focus on these referees in particular. Isaac Barnett is renowned for his lightning-fast technicals, which he gives out of sheer annoyance. Thus, if Clark claps her hands following a missed call. White will use technology if he challenges a whistle too forcefully. Wilson can destroy Boston in the paint in the interim, but for some reason, it's a no call. At best, Randy Richardson is erratic. Touch fouls occur during one possession, followed by WWE wrestling. There is anarchy, no rhythm, and no consistency. Fans actually refer to Jana, the third member of this trio, as invisible, since she vanishes when the going gets rough. The semi-finals are being run by that person. There is more to this than a conspiracy. It's incapacity. Additionally, it seems that corrupt supporters have been ranting about this incompetence on social media. How do you assign the same referees who just gave a coach a suspension? How can you use officials that everyone despises to safeguard a product? How can you disregard your own paying clients? The solutions are straightforward. The WNBA is unconcerned. In any case, they're counting on supporters to watch. They believe that debate equals opinions, but when conflict is conducted unfairly, credibility is completely destroyed. Let's bring up Caitlin Clark once again now. She is a second-year student. In the league, she is the most well-known figure. On the road, she sells out arenas. She violates rating records, and the league is essentially daring referees to ignore the whistle once more rather than protecting her. She was criticized by fans throughout the season, currently using the same referees in the playoffs. What do you anticipate happening? Since Clark's injury, ex-Boston has already taken on a great deal of responsibility. Mitchell has taken charge. Lexi Hall has persevered despite suffering. This crew has worked extremely hard to get here. And the big plan of the league. Put them in front of the three officials who have already caused the sport to look bad. Fans are furious because of this. Remember that the WNBA's golden child is, in essence, the Aces. The money market is Vegas. They possess the star power, the glitz, and the ownership. In the finals, the league wants them. Everyone is aware of it. Therefore, it doesn't seem like a coincidence when supporters witness the same referees who saved them before they were allocated again. It appears to be partiality. Favoritism also utterly undermines confidence. The purpose of sports is to foster competition. On merit, you win or lose. But fans lose faith when the referees take center stage in the narrative. Fans also quit watching if they lose faith. Sponsors also stop making payments after they stop watching. The WNBA is currently on a very precarious path. Let's not mince words. Referees are not the reason why fans watch playoff games. To watch the stars shine, they tune in. Caitlin Clark hitting logo threes is what they want to see. In the paint, they hope to witness a Wilson take on Boston. They are hoping to see defenders for Mitchell Cook. However, the referees are now the main attraction. That is the main issue. It goes beyond a single game. It has to do with a distinct pattern. The WNBA has repeatedly demonstrated that they will shield some players while allowing others to be compromised. The whistle is given to Wilson. Clark receives elbows. Stewart is contacted. Boston is robbed. This double standard is making supporters go crazy. They're not dumb. They are able to observe who the league wants promoted. Now consider the consequences if this crew truly affects the result. Let's say the Fever lose a close game. Mitchell is burning. Boston is fighting. Just as Clark is drawing doubles, either Boston is knocked out by a phantom foul or Clark is struck in the arm. Not a whistle. Break quickly the other way. Momentum kills. Basketball isn't like that. The fans will not overlook that since it is manipulation. The consequences have already been observed. Cheryl Reeve lost it after the Lynx game. In a news conference, she swore at fans, yelled at referees, and attacked the league. The WNBA penalized the league's most successful coach for pointing out the truth, rather than acknowledging that the officials made a mistake. Caitlin Clark's semifinal is now decided by those same referees. It's not simply poor visuals. That is hilarious. Fans believe the league is intentionally working against them, which is exactly why they are furious. The Fever makes its way into the fray. And the league throws them into a maelstrom of dishonest officiating rather than praising it. The golden franchise, Vegas, reaps the rewards. Indiana, the underdog that generates the most viewers, loses badly. It is completely reversed. This is the worst part. Fans aren't even interested in watching another AC make it to the finals. It is evident from social media polls. Watch parties demonstrate it. Viewership demonstrates it. People are fed up with Vegas taking center stage. They desire fresh blood. They want Mitchell, Boston, and Clark to perform on the largest stage. That's how the game gets bigger. That's how you get casual admirers. However, the league doubles down on the ace rather than relying on that. Don't assume that fans haven't noticed either. Simply read the remarks made beneath each league post. Corrupt, rigged, and Caitlyn protecting. The game is being ruined by referees. There are many trolls in this group. This is the audience that pays. These are the individuals who purchase tickets, watch games on streaming services, wear jerseys, and feel deceived. Even opposing coaches, like Becky Hammond, who has little justification for defending Indiana, are publicly criticizing officiating earlier this year because it has gotten so awful. That demonstrates the extent of the annoyance. Because there is a crisis when even the league's best team starts to doubt the referees. What does this leave us with, then? Every whistle, or lack thereof, will be examined as the Fever prepare for a semi-final. Fans will cry conspiracy every time Clark is bumped. Fans will get furious every time Wilson receives a soft call. And by appointing this staff, the league produced a poisonous atmosphere. Let's investigate the cause of this. Favoritism, according to some. It is considered inept by some. It's both, to be honest. Due to its flashiness, the WNBA wants Vegas to make it to the finals. However, they also lack enough good referees to manage games with a lot of pressure. Therefore, even when those referees have already blown calls, they simply keep using the same names. That is a surefire way to end badly, my friends. This is where the cruel irony lies. The league's moneymaker is Caitlyn Clark. She is the one who drives attendance, fills stadia, and makes money for the league. However, they are positioning her to get hammered without calls rather than protecting her. You are actually biting the hand that feeds you when you do that. Let's examine each player separately. The anchor for the entire year has been Boston. She has demonstrated she belongs in the MVP discussion after going head-to-head with Wilson. However, observe how these referees treat her. Boston will somehow get whistled when Wilson throws elbows into the post. The season has been about that, and it's going to get really,